What's up, good people, and welcome back to my channel where we bond over our favorite TV shows, trending topics, and everything in between that we care about. So today, what I am coming to you with is a public warning that was put out by the Better Business Bureau in regards to Darius Cooks LLC. And I know some of you, if you're on social media, you may have seen it kind of going around and the headlines, etc. But I know all of you don't have time to like read all these articles. And so that's what I'm here for. So grab a snack, sit on down, and let's get into it. And before I get into this article, there has been some discussion about the legitimacy of the Better Business Bureau from Darius Cooks himself and his D-wife cult, who want to disparage the legitimacy of this nationally known organization. And so I decided in this video, before we get into the meat and potatoes of it all, no pun intended, I decided that this would be a great time to actually give a summary of who the Better Business Bureau is and what their history is. So on their website, it says that for more than 100 years, the Better Business Bureau has been helping people find businesses, brands, and charities that they can trust. Millions of people turn to the BBB each year to view BBB business profiles and charity reports, all available for free on BBB.org. BBB accredited businesses support the mission and vision of BBB, and their dues and contributions allow BBB to offer its information and services to consumers at no charge. The Better Business Bureau is not affiliated with any governmental agency. I cleared that up after I misspoke in one of my videos. So now that we have that clear, this is an organization that has been around for 100 years. Darius has gaslit, once again, his D-wives and told them that the BBB requires you to pay as a business in order to get high ratings. So the reason he has an F rating isn't because he's a shyster and a horrible business person. He's saying it's because he refuses to pay them for their subscription or whatever to raise his scores. That's not how the BBB works. It's not Google. Google, you can do those types of things. That's not how the BBB works. And so the BBB does have an accredited portion where businesses can take courses and all of that, and they do have dues. It does not impact your rating. What it does is gives you additional services in order to help you run your businesses better. You can take workshops there to learn how to do business plans, structure your business. I've actually been through those courses, so I'm fully aware of what they offer. None of it impacts your ability to raise your ratings for your business. So if you got an A rating, that's because your business is doing A rating customer service and running with excellence. If you got an F rating, that means your business is the scum of the earth. That it is what it is. So now that we have that clear, let's move on. All right, so as of May 18th of 2022, the Better Business Bureau put out a public warning for anyone who would potentially become a customer of Darius Cooks LLC. And that's where he has his product lines, everything from the cookbooks to the cookware line. He sells t-shirts, but those are drop ship. He doesn't control that process, so you actually get those because he's not responsible for those. And ebooks too. He does ebooks, but for some reason he can't even get ebooks out to people. That's just a link that goes electronically. But you know, he's not a good business person. And that's how we got here. So let's see what the Better Business Bureau had to say about Darius Cooks. So the article starts out by saying the Better Business Bureau advises customers to use caution when doing business with Darius Cooks LLC, a Georgia-based company that is an online retailer of cookbooks, apparel, and accessories. And the business owner, Darius Cooks... Okay, I read that wrong, and that was a total slip, but it says, and the business owner, Darius Williams, over 70 consumers reported to the BBB that the company failed to deliver products ordered by their customers, did not provide requested refunds, and did not communicate reasons for the shipping delays and provide proof of customer service. So as we know, I have had a few episodes where we've had some of the customers come out and talk about those sort of issues. It's all on, social media, and those things will be coming as well in other videos. However, in the investigative news report done by Randy Travis, they had an example of one of the customers of Darius Cooks LLC who actually went as far as to go to the Better Business Bureau. And the other piece of this is that it stated that over 70 customers reported to the BBB. And so Darius Cooks is actually using those numbers, that 70 number, as a way to gaslight the audience, gaslight his D-wives, and gaslight the public as a whole, to say that, well, if it's only 70 people out of my 144,000 orders, that's actually really good. And that's not what's being said overall. These 70 people are not a representation of the whole amount of the thousands of people who have been scammed by Darius Cooks by ordering products from him, never receiving them, never getting refunds, all kind of defective things, all kind of issues that he 90% of the time does not respond to. This is 70 people who went as far as to go through the Better Business Bureau in hopes of trying to get some resolution to the problem. The rest of the people, as we know and we've talked about before, usually the amounts he spends, because he's a penny scammer, is so small that people aren't going through all of these steps, and they aren't going to sue and all of this, all of, gaslighting things that are said from the other side of why don't you sue, why didn't they sue, all of that. Nobody's going to go through that. Most people, the great majority of people, are not going to go through that process for someone taking, I don't know how much his cookbooks are, but like $40 or $50, or even, the skillet is $100 or whatever. And so what people usually do, once they realize they're not going to get a resolve from Darius Cooks himself, is they go through their bank and they get the charges reversed.
Sharika Blackman lives in Minot, North Dakota. She got the first cookbook she ordered, but when the second one never showed up, she complained to the Better Business Bureau.
He told me that the post office hadn't sent out the package yet. But when I called the post office, they told me that they hadn't received the package yet. All he did was print out a shipping label.
She said she discovered others on Williams' social media pages with similar complaints, so she added her comments.
And when I did that, he blocked me on social media.
He blocked you?
He did.
What'd you make of that?
I was very upset, especially since you already have my funds.
The BBB said Williams has not responded to any of the 70 complaints filed against him. Sharika said it finally took disputing the charge with her bank to get Williams to deliver that second cookbook, months after she complained to the BBB.
Even with all of the evidence that is surrounding him, that numerous people are experiencing the same thing, there are still people that are defending him and still upholding him in his trash behavior.
And again, she's right. It's trash behavior. And there are other people. So this is the other piece of it. Generally, people, when it comes to this sort of thing and speaking out loud, there's a lot that comes with this. For me to do what I do here is not easy. It's not. You have to have a certain level of thick skin. You got to know what your calling is and what you're meant to do. There's a lot that comes with this, and it is not for the faint of heart. And so what happens with these everyday people who are buying products from Darius Cooks, just trying to be a support to him because they're trying to help a black business, or they're entertained by his shenanigans and, acting like a Medea drag queen and, the gay best friend and the cousin. And he's doing all of those things and love bombing them. And so they buy into it. It's all a, psychological thing. And so they then start to give him money and purchase his products and services. And in turn, they end up in these positions. And because of that, there's some level of embarrassment that comes with that too, especially when they start to realize that everything that has been stated, definitely in the public for nearly a year now, is real and is true. And it's not the jealousy and all of the excuses he makes for it, and, bitter exes and somebody wants his, criminal life or something. It's none of that. And once they realize that, there's a level of embarrassment. So those people generally are not quick to come out and get on the news or even make a public proclamation. Almost every video that I do on Darius Cooks has a handful of people that start to get in the comments and talk about their own personal experiences of being scammed by him. But that's the extent that most people will go, and it's understandable. But the BBB did include some additional stories in their public warning about Darius Cooks LLC. So again, we hear, where are the victims? And I hate to call people victims, but, you have to use the same words because that's part of, twisting the narrative. If I'm saying survivors and they're saying victims, that leaves room for a disconnect that does not belong. So we're going to go with victims from here on out. And so there are additional victims, and one of them noted in this article here is Amber W. from Honolulu, Hawaii, where she says, I placed an order for 2 cookbooks from Darius Cooks, LLC in March of 2021. She told the BBB that a few weeks later, a label was created, but USPS never received a package containing the 2 cookbooks. She then says, I reached out by email to Darius Cooks, and I got a response apologizing and said he would mail out personally himself. She told the BBB, it's been another 2.5 months and I haven't received anything. I have sent another 7 emails and haven't been responded to. And again, this is part of the tricks, the smoke and mirrors game that he plays as a part of the Ponzi scheme. And we hear this story time and time again. And he hasn't done it lately because he's too busy working on the Dining with Darius Ponzi scheme. And so, but in the past, what he's done is he'll get on his Instagram Live and do the customer service, you know, fake customer service lives or whatever, and then show he's printing out labels, etc. And I've always said, even in watching those, I'm like, that means nothing. Like, you've printed out a bunch of labels. He never shows him go as far as to print the labels, pull the products, put them on the products, push the products out on a truck or wherever they're going and going to the post office. He's never shown that whole process. You show me that, then I'm going to believe that you're actually sending out what you're supposed to send out. But again, he gaslights his D-wives, and they're literally such a cult that he can do no wrong in their eyes. It's literally like he's a god to them. And so whatever he says, they believe it at face value, no matter what reality shows them. And so we see here another person who's saying he acted as if he was going to send me my product. He printed out the label, but the USPS post office said that they never got it. And there are many stories of this. Sounds like mail fraud to me, but you know, I'm not the FBI. I'm going to leave that up to them. So it also goes on to say consumers have reported to BBB issues with dining with Darius Cooks. He's on that tour now. It says, which are events promoted on the shopdariuscooks.com website as a premier 7-course dining experience. Yeah. Nothing premier about that. So it goes on to say, in May of 2021, Sonia T. of Montgomery, Alabama, contacted the BBB about her experience when purchasing tickets for one of these events. She goes on to say, I purchased a ticket in October of 2019 for Dining with Darius. She said the event was scheduled for May 2020 in Huntsville. But due to COVID-19, it was rescheduled to December of 2020. When December came, the event was canceled again. Sonia then told the BBB that it was at that point that she began emailing the business for a refund. She then says, I emailed in January and February and got no response. Finally, in April, I received an email saying that he had another dining event in 2021 and I would have the first choice. But he needed the order number of the original purchase in October of 2019. I no longer had the emails from October of 2019 that contained the order number. I was told I couldn't get a ticket to an upcoming event, nor could I get a refund without an order number. She then says he emailed me and said, hey, I know I owe you, but I can't give you anything without an order number. Sonia told the BBB he acknowledged owing me, but refused to refund me without some nonsense about an order number. The bank would only do a reversal if the purchase was within 2 months of the purchase. So I'm out of $175. This was interesting too, because that's not the only story. That's the one that the BBB has, but I've heard others. There's been a ton of them. And so here's the game with that. And I don't know. I'm still trying to get organized with all the clips and stuff. Darius has admitted himself saying he really doesn't have to have the order number. He can really go by first and last name. It just makes it harder for him because sometimes people have the same name. So the truth is, if he really wanted to help Sonia, because he admits here that he knows he owes her, he could have. But this is the game he plays. He didn't want to part with the number. He didn't want to give up a seat. His 2022 tour was sold out. You know, a lot of people have gotten out of it based on learning everything that, you know, the coalition has been able to get out there and all of the media coverage of who he truly is. But him not being a good human being and giving her a refund or allowing her to seat at another dinner, because even with all of that being ignored and all of that, she's saying here she obviously was willing to go to the other event. It's really kind of crazy. It's really kind of crazy. She might still be following him now. It's a cult. But anyway, so the other piece of this too, which I stated in the video and I had people trying to correct me, and I'm like, I know what I've been hearing from people. So as those of you who've been following the story, or if you were once a D-wife or all of that, you know that Darius sells his Dining with Darius event tickets a year out. That's a part of the scam. That's a part of the fraud. And that's why I'm glad many people this year, because he does not have a sold out tour this year for 2023. So I'm glad that many people woke up this year and realized that that's all a part of the scam. She has said that her bank told her that she could not do a reversal of the charge after the 2-month time period. So that's part of the game, because by the time when he cancels the event or never sends you an email with the information about the location, which he does not send until the day of, a few hours before. So there's a whole game that gets played with that. And some people, you'll see it in the comments, you'll see it here or there, have said, who else was it? Oh, it was the young lady who did the TikTok. She said that was part of the issue for her. Her date came and went, and he never gave her and her friends the date for their Dining with Darius event came and went, and they never received email information about the location, etc.
Okay, really quickly, this is my experience with that certain social media chef. So, backstory, 2016, when he was first getting started with these dining events, me and 3 of my friends bought tickets. I think they were like $120 at the time to go to his events. They were promoted. It was promoted as like a 5-course or 6-course meal, whatever. We just wanted to go because at the time we followed him and we were really big fans. We go to the event, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't even lie, fantastic. The food, chef's kiss. Like, you cannot deny the fact that he's a great cook. Cool. So fast forward 2018, I think, maybe 2019. I think he had opened up his restaurants. I don't know. He promotes that he's doing the events again. So me and my friends are like, bet, let's go. So apparently when he opened up the tickets, our city sold out super quick. So we bought tickets to like a completely different city where we had to like buy flights. Luckily, thank God, we hadn't bought our flights at the time. Anyways, so here's where it gets, So as it's leading up to our dinner time, to the time for our event, he goes ghost. We hear nothing. We started emailing like, hey, what's the location? Whatever. Nothing. We were DMing, nothing. Then the event date comes and goes. We still have heard nothing. We've DM'd, we've emailed. I mean, we've done everything. So finally, we're like, what the hell? Like, we missed the event because he never reached back out to us. So we each called our banks. We explained the situation. We got our money back. And that's when I realized, oh, he's a scamming ass nigga. So if you are thinking about going to the event, first of all, is it worth I heard the money is, I heard it's like $289 now. It's not worth it. Second, just be careful because from what I'm hearing, he's still scamming people. So you may or may not actually have an event, but he got your money. So just be careful.
And so that's part of his game, because people like her end up in situations where they can't get a reversal of charges because they have purchased those tickets a year out. And so it's an elaborate Ponzi scheme, people. It really is. Like, it's very interesting once you start to see behind the scenes. But let's see who else's story they shared in this article. So the next one, it says, a Lawrenceville, Georgia woman advised the BBB that she purchased tickets for Dining with Darius event for April 17th of 2021. That's actually my birthday. He's pulling scams on my birthday. But anyway, it goes on to say, but immediately needed to receive a refund for her ticket. When she couldn't find the confirmation for her order, she was told she couldn't be refunded. She then says, I have sent him my credit card statement showing the transaction. Ooh, she was setting herself up for doxing. She then told the BBB, he said he cannot use that. I have to search on his site, and there is no way for me to locate my previous transactions. He said that he cannot refund me because he cannot locate the transaction, but I have shown it to him, and I had to enter my name to purchase the tickets. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So it's the game that he plays. And I'm really, it's probably gonna be impossible for me to find that clip right away with him saying that he does not actually need the order numbers. So that whole, he's done a whole t-shirt thing. Where's the order number? He did that, you know, based on the going back and forth in that live with Andrew Caldwell, and the D-Wives cult jumped into it and they, yeah, make a t-shirt about it, blah, 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 this and that. He is running game on y'all. So he used that opportunity of his scamming, one of his processes of scamming, to create a t-shirt to make those clowns pay for it so that he can continue to scam, because they're buying into all of his smoke and mirror show. I was like, it's good. And so when you talk about smoke and mirrors, being a predator and a snake oil salesman, he is good. He is good at what he does, because when he ends up in these sort of situations, he figures out a way to get his cult to invest more money in him. Because part of the psychological effect that he's pulled on them over the years is that when he's attacked for his toxic behavior and crimes against humanity, he projects it towards them like they're attacking us. He'll use those words too. We'll have a video on that too. A lot of videos coming. People keep saying, oh, he's saying it's coming. Yeah, because it's a lot. It's a lot. But there's a whole psychological effect on that. If I want you to invest in what I have going on, even if it's all on me, fraudulent or not, if I start to use those words that make you feel like you're a part of it, then you're invested. And so if anyone is contrary to it, then you also feel like they're attacking you when it has nothing to do with you and only has something to do with the criminal. So, but he does that and they buy into it. Okay, and so let's see what else. This is the last part of it. It says, according to information on the Georgia Secretary of State's website, and then it gives the website. It says Darius Cooks LLC's registered agent is United States Corporation Agents, Inc. The business was registered with a Georgia Secretary of State, but was served a notice of administrative dissolution revocation on June 17th of 2019. Per the Georgia Secretary of State, the business registration was dissolved as of August of 2019. While the business is no longer actively registered with the Georgia Secretary of State, it appears to be in operation. And that it is. It goes on to say the business's website is functional, yes, and Mr. Williams is active on social media promoting Darius Cooks products and dining with Darius Cooks events, all which are registered under this company that does not exist anymore because it's been dissolved. It says attempts to reach Darius Cooks LLC and its owner, Darius Williams, for comments failed. The business did not respond to the BBB's correspondence seeking the company's voluntary cooperation to responding to the unanswered complaints and eliminating the patterns of complaints. So there you go. I don't think Darius Cooks has ever responded to the facts in this article that state that Darius Cooks LLC has been dissolved by the state of Georgia. So one of two things. Either he is completely operating a business illegally with no corporate structure, therefore also most likely committing tax fraud and things of that nature as well, allegedly, don't know for sure. But if the business isn't registered, how is now the EIN number with the IRS registered, insurance, which we know he ain't got no insurance, but how is this business being run if it is not properly registered in the state in which it operates business as its headquarters? So just like he's ignored the 70 plus customers who had to go as far as to reach out to the Better Business Bureau, and then he's also ignored the Better Business Bureau, he's also ignored the fact that it's been called out that his business has been dissolved, but he's yet completely operate as of August of 2019. So you might want to do one of your IG lives on that. But with that, that's all I have for this particular video. I just wanted to highlight the article for those of you who hadn't had a chance to read it or no interest in reading, et cetera, et cetera. So I read it for you. You're welcome. So with that, if you've made it to this point in the video, first of all, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Please hit that like button below to help us grow. Also, if you've made it to this point in the video and you are still not a part of the subscriber family, what are you waiting on? This will be a great time for you to hit that subscribe button below to join one of the most evolved subscriber families in these YouTube streets. And also, don't forget that we have a VIP text community where you'll get updates from me. There are other little perks involved. You get to help pick out thumbnail images and things like that. And also, don't forget, if you want to add that extra layer of support to me and my channel, there's a super thanks button below with a little heart. You can click on that and give a monetary tip of your choice, and it will be greatly appreciated. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, make sure to take care and be blessed. Peace.
Hey, popping like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rain do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest.